Next, please.
Good afternoon. This is the council. My name is Jeffrey Escobar, Construction Development Council at Prospero Rose, Roosevelt Island resident. I'm also an appointed member of Manhattan's Community Board 8, the co-chair of the Community Board's Roosevelt Island Affairs Committee, and also a member of the Roosevelt Island Cornell Task Force. I'm also one of the authors of the motion to recommend approval with conditions of the Cornell project. I was also one of the community board members who originally moved the community board to recommend approval of the project with conditions, and originally voted in support of the recommendation to be approved. As one of those original authors of the approval motion, as a member of the community board 8, as a member of the task force, if I had known and had the foresight to realize that when this application finally arrived to City Hall for approval, a firm written binding commitment from the applicant which directly and explicitly addresses and resolves the community concerns as raised here during today's testimony, during the other public hearings, during the ULURP process, and which adopts the extensive recommendations and resolutions and conditions submitted by Community Board 8, President Stringer's office, the CPC, I would not have drafted the original motion to approve, much less would have voted in favor of it. It is disconcerting and disturbing to hear and to understand, as of today, and at this late of the process, that the community continues to feel that the issues that were raised during the initial public hearings, which began over 3 years ago, continue to be unresolved. And the committee continues to feel that the applicant has failed to deliver real, written, and firm binding commitments addressing resolving each and every issue raised. The extensive conditions for approval made by Community Board 8, the Borough President's Office, and the CPC during the ULURP process for the last 6 or 7 months clearly and unequivocally make it recommended approval if and only if the conditions therein were adopted and the issues that were raised were addressed. Neither I, the Community Board, the President's Office, nor the CPC have seen anything that reassures and confirms that this is the case. In closing, for a project of this size and this type, it's very disconcerting as both the council, who regularly represents these type of projects, is involved with institutions of this size and nature, that nothing firm as to what has been raised and no firm commitments have been entered into. And until those issues have been addressed, as resident member of the Community Board 8, I would have to strongly suggest that this application be taken a look at again.
Thank you very much.
Quiet, please.
Sir?
I guess I'm last. Huh?
You're the lucky one.
Well, that's the end of the
Good luck, you know.
Yeah. I'm Larry Corness. I'm representing Community Board 8. I'm a resident of Roosevelt Island. I act my farm faces the canyon. So I'll try to be quick. Melanie Myers pointed out earlier that the City Planning Commission, in its approval, made modifications that reflected the recommendations of the Community Board. We're happy that the Commission followed those recommendations. She had a slide that pointed out one recommendation that she did not speak to, and that was the modification to the disposition application that tied the project and any development that's close to an academic development. Residents on the island, the Community Board did not want to see something developed there. That was not what we looked at. Commission also recommended that the Council modify the City Map Amendment to include the Community Board's recommendation that proposed East and West Loop Roads be renamed East and West Main Streets. For almost 40 years, I worked at the Department of City Planning, and I looked at things from the point of view of the government. I've been on Community Board 8 for 3 years and have gotten a great appreciation and understanding of the concerns of the residents. Now, we voted in favor of the application with conditions. The residents of the Roosevelt Island community support this application with conditions, so NIMBY is not an issue here. We just hope that you listen to these concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You want to make a statement? Hold on
I
a
do,
second.
and just because I do want to make clear for the record one more time, and I think I started out the hearing today, that there are 5 pages worth of commitments that have been made in writing from Cornell, and so I certainly don't want the record to reflect that they have not listened to the community or made commitments, and maybe I should go through some of them. Providing space for community groups to meet, be fully compliant with ADA requirements. They're looking at the feasibility of reduced rates for hotel space for island residents. Working closely with the school, we talked a lot about that today. Work with the, I don't want to read all of these, but I can go to preserving the Goldwater murals, which on before we're going to vote to approve this application. I want to be very clear about that. But I didn't want the record to go without making sure people knew that there certainly have been significant commitments made by Cornell. Not enough. We have some more discussion. There were quite a few issues raised from the residents today. And Mr. Chair, I look forward to your help and your assistance and your support.
I thank you, Councilmember Lappin. You have been a great advocate for your community. On behalf of the Roosevelt Island residents, you're lucky to have her, as well as your Assemblyman Mike Keller, who keeps calling us with different things that he wants as well. And working together, I'm sure we're going to come to a resolution to make everybody happy. Anyone else here that didn't call? One last try. All right, with that in mind, we're going to close the public hearing on the Cornell site. We will not be voting today, as I mentioned. This meeting will be recessed until this Thursday, May 2nd, which is my brother David's birthday, for anyone who cares. 9:45 a.m. across the street at 250 Broadway. It will be on the 16th floor, across the street at 250 Broadway. And we'll be voting on this item as well as the other two items and the other cafe that we didn't address today.